You're listening to the Jonker Talk podcast. This podcast is brought to you by MC242 IPR MSA UiTM Malacca chapter as an assignment for PRO549. Remember, Jonker Walk is a place. Jonker Talk is us.
Hey there, Climate Crusaders! Welcome to another episode of Earth's Call, your go-to destination for all environmental issues. I hope all of you are doing great. I'm Reen, your host, and if you are new here, don't worry as I'm here to guide you through the complex world of environmental challenges and solutions. And as for today's episode, we are kicking off our series on climate change, where we also celebrate the heroes fighting on the front lines of our planet's greatest battle. Okay, now guess what it is? It is our climate warriors. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh great, another boring podcast about melting ice caps and polar bears, let me assure you, we are here to make climate talk as cool as a Slurpee on a summer day. Before delving deeper into today's topic, I will briefly explain just to ensure you all get the overview of what MDG number 7 is and how it relates to climate change. Back in 2000, the United Nations set out a series of ambitious goals known as the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs, aiming to address global challenges and improve the lives of people worldwide. And right there at number 7, nestled among other noble goals, was MDG 7, ensure environmental sustainability, which is the topic that I have chosen to talk about in today's podcast. Okay, now I know that some of you might be confused or might be wondering what exactly does environmental sustainability entail. Well, okay, just picture this. Lush forests teeming with life, crystal clear rivers winding through verdant landscapes, and skies so blue they make even Van Gogh jealous. And that is the vision behind MDG 7, a world where humans and nature coexist in harmony, where we tread lightly on the earth and leave a legacy of abundance for future generations. Okay, now guys, are you still with me? I hope you are nodding along or maybe even chuckling a bit. So, before we enter the first segment where we'll be talking about the case of Malaysia, first, let's break it down for all you climate newbies out there. What exactly is climate change? Well, imagine Earth as a giant thermostat, regulating temperatures, weather patterns, and everything in between. Now, picture someone sneaking into the control room and cranking up the heat, and that is climate change in a nutshell. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. Grab your sunscreen and get ready for some discussions, jaw-dropping revelations, and maybe even a few climate-themed dad jokes along the way, because when it comes to tackling climate change, we're all in this together, and together, we are
unstoppable.
Now, without wasting any time, let's move on to our first segment today as we are taking a deep dive into Malaysia's very own El Nino roller coaster. Okay guys, hold up. First, let's start with the basics. What in the world is El Nino, you ask? I know that some of you might be unfamiliar with this word. So, imagine a giant hot tube in the Pacific Ocean where the water's temperature decides to crank up the heat to the max. Yep, that's right. El Nino is actually a climate phenomenon characterized by an unusual warming of the Pacific Ocean surface waters, sending shockwaves through our weather patterns and turning up the temperature dial like never before. Thus, El Nino's impact on Malaysia, not just in Malaysia actually, and the world is profound, disrupting normal rainfall patterns and creating a weather rollercoaster with drought conditions in some areas and heavy rainfall in others. This is revealed in a study by Aziana and Raksha, conducted in 2023, where this climatic upheaval is particularly felt in northern regions like Kedah and Perlis, throwing Malaysia into a whirlwind of unpredictable weather. Okay, guys, to be honest, I got the idea to talk about El Nino actually when I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, where I stumbled upon a wave of parental complaints, and they were expressing their concerns about their children enduring the blistering heat on their way to school. Some even suggested temporarily closing down the schools due to the potential health risks posed by the scorching weather. And just when you thought things couldn't get any hotter, the Malaysian Meteorological Department drops a bombshell reporting a severe drought and high temperature alerts for 8 northern districts of Peninsular Malaysia. And guys, we're talking temperatures soaring above 35 degrees Celsius and peaking at a scorching 37 degrees Celsius for 3 consecutive days. Now, if that doesn't make you break out in a sweat, I don't know what will. But fear not, dear listeners, for we are about to peel back the layers of these simmering issues and uncover Malaysia's heroes who are rising to the challenge. As I have explained to y'all about the turbulent waters of El Nino, now let's discover its very impact on our planet. Brace yourself, folks, because when El Nino comes knocking, it is not just a ripple in the pond, it's a tidal wave of chaos. From floods to crop failures, heat waves to health crisis, no corner of the globe is safe from its wrath. Let's start with the big one, which is flooding. When El Nino unleashes its fury, it's like Mother Nature hitting the flood button on her cosmic control panel. Just think back to the December 2021 floods where Malaysia bore the brunt of El Nino's reach, resulting in staggering losses of 6.1 billion ringgit. Tragically, the disaster has resulted in the loss of 50 lives with over 400,000 individuals forced to evacuate. And young Shafira Uthman, the parliament member representing the Bentong district in Pahang state, if I'm not mistaken, affirmed that climate change was the underlying cause of the devastating flooding. Okay, but wait, there is more. El Nino doesn't stop at floods. It's also a master of agricultural mayhem. Okay, now guys, imagine yourself as a farmer toiling away under the scorching sun, nurturing your crops with care. And then suddenly El Nino swoops like an unwelcome guest at a picnic, bringing erratic rainfall and scorching temperatures. Your crops wither, your fields dries up, and your livelihood hangs in the balance. And this disruption of agricultural output spells disaster, leading to crop failures, interrupted water supply, and skyrocketing food prices. It is a bitter harvest indeed. And let's not forget about the health too. With temperature soaring, heat-related diseases like exhaustion and stroke become all too common, turning neighborhoods into hot zones of discomfort and danger. But perhaps the most heartbreaking impact of all is the exacerbation of inequality. When El Nino rolls in town, it doesn't play favorites, but it does hit some folks harder than others. Imagine you are living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet. Now add in the extra burden of higher food prices and limited access to cooling resources. Suddenly, the playing field feels anything but level. El Nino has a knack for widening the gap between the have and the have-not, leaving those on the margins even further behind. So guys, don't get too emotional, okay now? As we navigate the stormy seas of El Nino, let us peel back the layers of environmental action and dive deep into the role of organizations in combating climate change. So, today we are shining a spotlight on two key players in Malaysia's environmental landscape, particularly the government agencies, which are NRES and NADMA, the pillars of environmental resilience and disaster management in Malaysia. But that's not all. In the next segment, we have a special guest who is a true expert in youth activism, ready to share insights on the vital role of young warriors in this fight. Get ready to dive into the heart of these acronyms and discover how they are making tidal wave in the battle against climate change. Okay, before introducing y'all to the youth warriors, let's talk together about the role of National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA, and the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability, NRES, in combating climate change in Malaysia. Okay, now guys, let's start with NADMA, a beacon of hope in time of crisis. Within their keen eye for identifying funding opportunities and their knack for managing climate projects, NADMA is at the forefront of ensuring that climate finance is effectively allocated where it is needed most. But NADMA's mission extends far beyond immediate disaster response. They are dedicated to continuously enhancing disaster management strategies and infrastructure, bolstering our defenses against the fury of Mother Nature. And this commitment was evident when NATMA undertook a comprehensive review of the National Security Council Directive aimed at strengthening and improving the nation's disaster management capabilities in response to citizen valid concern about its effectiveness, as they felt that NATMA wasn't proactive enough in leading rescue and relief efforts. Now, let's shift our focus to NRES, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability. These eco-warriors are the brains behind the operation, conducting cutting-edge research on climate change and its impact on our precious ecosystems. But they are not just all talk and no action, unlike some folks who make promises they can keep. This can be seen in the Climate Resilience Research Program and the Green Technology Development Program, pioneering the development of sustainable technologies and methods to reduce our environmental footprint. But that is just the beginning, guys. Okay, let's not forget about their most ambitious program of all, the Climate Action Plan, a comprehensive strategy aimed at minimizing greenhouse gas emissions and promoting sustainable activities across all sectors of society. Now, how do these programs benefit Malaysia, you ask? As Malaysia grapples with the impacts of climate change, NRES initiatives are paving the way for a more resilient and sustainable future. Now that we have explored the groundbreaking initiative of NRES and NATMA, let's take a moment to pause and reflect on the impact of their work. Okay? When we return, we will delve deeper into the climate warriors and how they ensure a brighter tomorrow, not just for Malaysia, but for the entire world. Stay tuned! Hey, welcome to the next segment, my beloved listeners. Thank you for being loyal. So, fellow warriors, here comes the exciting part. Something that we have been waiting for. Joining us today is a very special guest who is my college buddy back in my foundation year, and she's now pursuing the same major as me in our degree. She is now an inspiring leader in the fight against climate change and a passionate advocate for youth empowerment. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, babe.
Hey, how are you doing? I hope you are doing just fine.
I am.
Okay, could you please introduce yourself a bit, Sophie?
Hi, my name is Nur Sophie and I'm Rin's special guest.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here and to share my journey and insight with your listeners.
Okay, my pleasure. Let's dive right in. Can you tell us a bit about your journey as a youth activist for environmental sustainability? I mean, what inspired you to get involved in this cause?
Absolutely. Growing up, I've always had a deep connection to nature and a profound appreciation for the beauty and diversity of our planet. Witnessing the devastating impact of these issues on communities around the world, particularly marginalized and vulnerable populations, I felt a sense of urgency to take action. But I think it all began during our foundation year when we joined the environmental club last year. Good times, huh?
Yeah, of course I do. It was fun, to be honest. It was like joining the Avengers, but instead of fighting aliens, we were battling plastic pollution.
Yeah, I remember that one time we got so turned around that we ended up planting saplings in someone's backyard. They probably thought we were eco-friendly burglars.
Oh, the joys of environmental activism. But hey, at least we left the neighborhood a little greener, right?
Absolutely, and who could forget our epic beach cleanup adventures? We were like the cleanup crew from Baywatch, minus the swimsuits and the slow motion running.
Ain't that the truth? But hey, all jokes aside, joining that environmental club was one of the best decisions we ever made, right?
It is.
Okay, hold on. I have one burning question on my mind. With all these government agencies in the mix, I can't help but wonder if they are enough to tackle the mammoth issue of climate change. But where do you think us, as the youth, fit into this equation?
Great point, Rin. Since joining the club, I've delved into the world of climate activism and stumbled upon two powerhouses of youth movement, which is the Triple F and NYD.
Oh my god, Triple F, that name certainly got some punch to it. So, spill the beans soap, what is the scoop on these movements and how they are shaking up the climate change game?
Oh, you're in for a treat. The Triple F movement has ignited a wildfire of passion among young people worldwide. Their mission is to shake the foundation and demand urgent action on climate change with emotive strategies like hashtag Digital Stride and Climate Stride Online. They are not just marching on the street, they're storming the digital realm, captivating millions with their message.
Wow, talk about digital revolution. But here is the $1,000,000 question. How effective has Triple F been in driving real change, especially when it comes to influencing government policies?
Brace yourself, folks, because Triple F impact is nothing short of revolutionary. By mobilizing legions of youth to raise their voice in solidarity, they force government to sit up and take action. It's not about protests and rallies. It's about sparkling policy changes and pushing for a greener, more sustainable future.
Absolutely. I have seen their videos go viral faster than you can say climate action. It is incredible how they are mobilizing the masses and inspiring millions to join the fight against climate change. Oh yeah, but how do we join them?
Joining Fridays for Future is as easy as pie. First, you find your local chapter, then get involved online through the social or website. Just type Fridays for Future on Google or Safari, and there you go, bestie. From there, it's all about attending events, spreading the word, and taking action for the planet.
That sounds straightforward. So, it's really open to anyone who is passionate about the future of our planet, right?
Exactly. Whether you're a second activist or just dipping your toes into climate action, Fridays for Future welcomes everyone with open arms.
Fantastic. It is incredible to see how such a grassroots movement has sparked global change. So, what advice would you give to someone who is eager to get involved but doesn't know where to start?
My advice would be to just dive in head first. Start by attending local strides or events, connect with fellow activists, and don't be afraid to raise your voice for what you believe in. Every small action counts, and together we can make a big difference.
Nice words, so. Oh yeah, but does Fridays for Future based in Swedish?
Yeah.
Do you know any youth NGOs that are based in Malaysia?
Yes, I do, of course. I was actually waiting for you to ask me this question. So, in Malaysia, we have Malaysian Youth Delegation, popularly known as MYD, as our climate heroes.
Oh, I'm probably new to that because I have never heard of them. Okay, let me know what's good.
The MYD has been actively involved in promoting the SDGs and contributing to global effect towards sustainability. One stand-up moment was their participation in the United Nations Youth SDG Summit 2023, where young leaders from around the world came together to collaborate on addressing global challenges.
Wow, sounds like a powerhouse of youth activism. I bet the energy at that summit was electrifying.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine a room buzzing with passion, ideas flying faster than a confetti at a New Year's Eve party. It was like a Comic-Con for sustainability enthusiasts.
Ooh, hoo-hoo. I love that analogy. So, Sophie, how do you see the MYD's participation in events like the UN Youth SDG Summit translating into tangible change on the ground?
Oh, great question. By participating in such high-profile event, the MYD not only amplify the voice of Malaysian youth on the global stage, but also build connection and partnership with other youth-led organizations worldwide.
Absolutely. It is like they say teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Totally, it's inspiring to see them actively fighting environmental issues here in Malaysia. Oh, by the way, they're recruiting new members and I've applied. Wish me luck, guys.
All the best, mate. Let's raise a toast to her. But hey, let's not keep this opportunity to ourselves. Sophie, please share how people can engage with these organizations to safeguard the planet from environmental threats.
Listeners, if you're itching to join the movement and help protect our planet, it's as easy as few clicks. Just head over to Instagram and search for MYD Climate. From there, sign up by scanning the QR code provided. It's that simple.
That's right. Is there anything you want to add? Something to encourage the youth out there?
Whether you're passionate about saving the ocean, preserving forests, or tackling climate change head-on, there's a place for you in the fight for a greener future.
Couldn't have said it better, babe. And to all our listeners out there, never underestimate the power of your voice and your actions. Together, we can be the change makers our planet needs.
Hear, hear. So let's roll up our sleeves, join hands, and make a difference, one eco-friendly step at a time.
That is a wrap for today, folks. Until next time, stay green,
Stay passionate,
and keep fighting for the good fight for our planet. This is Rain,
and Sophie,
signing off from Earth's Call. Keep shining,
keep listening,
keep learning,
and let's continue to unleash the power of you for a brighter, greener future. Bye!
Bye!